Brandon Moreno is making a very smart decision at the moment for his career, and what it is, why more fighters should do that decision in this video. Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Salam alaikum to everyone.
If you follow the sport of MMA, you definitely know the name, the assassin baby, Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno was the flyweight champion, also the flyweight interim champion for some time. He's a two-time flyweight champion.
¡Viva México, güey! ¡Viva México!
Had some tough wars with Davis and Figueiredo, some all-time great fights there. The first quadrilogy in UFC history. But he had quite a tough run recently, you could say. His last two fights were both split decision losses, both in title fights. No, sorry, the Royval fight was not a title fight. But once in a title fight, once in a title contender fight. And he made a very smart decision right now that I think more fighters should do. So Brandon Moreno came out with a statement and said, hey, look guys.
Here's the thing, you guys.
This whole fighting game is so stressful. Going from fight to fight, hearing the same questions from the media over and over again, always like pushing yourself to the limit, the mental stress and everything, and all the pressure that everyone and you yourself as well put on yourself. And just the whole thing, you know, going from fight to fight, especially if you are at the end of some tough decisions like he was, even if you get knocked out or whatever, just if you were at the top and now you're on a 2-fight losing streak and whatever, you oftentimes, if you continue to fight and just, the next one will go better, the next one will go better, I have to get back in there, like Volkanovski does sometimes, I have to get back in there. This can really be a bad decision for you. Sometimes it's smarter to just, like he does right now, to say, hey, look guys, I'm not retiring, but I probably take a year or so off right now to just regroup, recollect myself, maybe even find my passion for the sport as well, because you also heard it from some guys before that they kind of lost the love for the sport, which can happen, especially with all the toxic fans in your DMs and just you losing back to back, especially if it's not the most fun fights for yourself and everything. Stuff like that can happen. And I think it's so important that more fighters have that mindset to say, hey, I am at a very tough spot in my life right now where I'm not that stable mentally and I don't feel like I am myself in the fights. And there are two options. You can either say, I'm gonna bite through that and I need to fight to get out of that, you know what I mean? Because in the next fight, I will be better. In the next fight, I will show everything I show in the classroom. Or you can say, hey, I take a step back. I try to regroup. I try to detox myself a little bit from the sport for a few moments and come back even stronger. And from what we've seen until now from the fighters, this is the smartest approach. Easy, for example, also does this right now. Very smart. Because oftentimes, I make you a very weird example right now. If you gamble, let's say you play blackjack and you're winning, like everything's going well, and then you start to lose. Every hand is bad, like you lose, you're like, damn, you're beating yourself up in your head, you're stressed, you're like, my money and everything. You can either keep gambling,
and again, and again, and again,
which normally doesn't end well from my own experience. Like if you're in that bad of a spirit and mood and stressed and beating yourself up over it, and you continue to play, you normally just end up in a downward spiral. It just doesn't go up anymore. Like you just continue to lose and it's just, it gets worse and worse, the stress and everything. And at the end, you're depressed, you know what I mean? Or you can stop and say, hey, let me get a drink or something, go breathe some fresh air, and then I come back to the table. And I'm not advising for any gambling or anything, guys. It's just an example, right? Same goes with fighting. It's not like you play football, soccer, whatever. You are in an octagon with another human being in your underwear. You're trying to take each other's consciousness. You don't want to be 99% mentally ready in there. You want to be 100% mentally clear, ready, focused in there. And this especially goes for fighters who were champions or something, who made some money, because of course, not everyone can just take a year out and not fight anymore because of the money and also the age.
You're 40 years of age.
Like, I wouldn't advise that to Andrei Arlovski, who is like 55,000 years old, to take a year off. But a guy like Moreno, 30 years old, take a year off. You're 31 if you come back. Still a good age, especially like for the higher weight classes. For a flyweight, you can say, okay, like 33, 34, you're getting up the age where it's about time to talk about retirement. But if you're that young, especially, like Darren Till does as well, do that year off. Regroup, get yourself back together. Especially if you know you can do better, if you did better in the past and somehow something just doesn't click anymore once you step in the cage. You're just not the guy you were once anymore in that cage. Sometimes all it needs is just time off. Get away from the heat, from the media, from everything, from the spotlight, regroup.
Fucking drinking beer, eating steaks in Brazil.
And come back stronger. I really believe that's such a smart approach. I mean, guys like Petr Yan, he didn't do that really after the Merab fight, but he definitely should have done that. But it took some time off, which was good. But if you have a situation like Petr Yan, like Izzy, like Brandon Moreno now, where you're on a losing streak, even though you were winning before the whole time, and it's just, you don't feel the same in the cage, and something is just not right, you can't really explain what it is, and you go from fight to fight, take some time off, regroup, and come back stronger. This is my advice. I think Brandon Moreno does, Brandon Moreno does the perfect thing right now, and more fighters should take that route. So, the best of success and luck to Brandon Moreno with his time off. I hope he comes back stronger, he can regroup, and I hope to see more of the assassin baby in the future. What do you think about this whole topic? Write in the comments. Do you think it's smart? Do you think it's stupid? He should continue to fight, he loses prime, whatever. All in the comments, guys. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, would appreciate that. Check out the Bloodsport merch. Stay bloody, you guys, and until the next one, bye-bye. Bloodsport out.